Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Gruber Wired. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and welcome once again.
Welcome. Well, to let everybody know, this is airing on July the 3rd.
That's correct.
Yep.
Yep.
So we pre-recorded this for your pleasure because we don't want to leave you hanging. We want to make sure you always have access to us. However, if you try and live chat, and some of you will anyway, we can't respond to you live, but we will try and respond to you in the YouTube chat later.
Yeah, that's correct. When we get back from our vacations and get back on, if we have any comments, we'll respond.
Right.
Get you all taken care of.
So we just want to wish everybody a happy 249th birthday for the United States of America. Next year's the big 250.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
It's going to be off the chain.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It's going to be a big deal.
Hey, I just want to remind everyone out there, if you're playing around with some fireworks, please be safe. We hear about this every year.
He's
somebody
saying
gets injured.
that from experience, people.
I have all my fingers
Yeah,
right
I
here.
understand. We won't talk about the burn scars, though.
No, we won't. No,
Okay,
no,
all
we
right.
won't show those.
No, please don't.
So we have a special guest with us today.
We do. We have Alexandra Iannone, who is from Optimal Fiber, and Optimal is both a customer and a vendor of Gruber Communications. And we're happy to have you here today, Alexandra. How are you?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I feel honored to be on your show.
I think we're honored to have you.
Yes,
so thank you.
absolutely. Well, so we're, just going to kind of spitball this and talk about your company. We'll talk about you. How long have you been there? What does your company do? I know some of the things that we've reached out for, and you've got some pretty cool products that we've done some screenshots of that we'll bring up. But just tell us a little bit about you and Optimal.
Yes, thank you. So I have been with Optimal Fiber for just over 3.5 years. We were actually under a different name, Fiber Data Warehouse, and we did a rebranding early on. And my role has been, many hats, as many of us have had in this industry. We started with just 2 people, and I was one of the 2. And I kind of had to learn the industry from all different facets. So the fiber to the home industry, working with hyperscalers, inside sales, outside sales, filing taxes, like the nitty gritty things, and then the fun, exciting things, meeting and having relationships with others in the industry. So it's been a wonderful 3.5 years, but I'm excited to continue. And, I've been able to grow in this position a lot. So it's been really wonderful learning the industry throughout my time here.
Great.
I got a question for you. Coming into this, so what has been your biggest learning curve? What objectives have you come across and said, wow, and overcome those hurdles?
Yeah, so starting, I was behind a computer desk and I'm pushing out quotes all day, and I was starting to learn the material very well from typing it out on a computer and looking up some YouTube videos. So I discovered very quickly that my learning curve was I didn't see the product in action, and I needed to see it in action. So I would, go out on job sites or I'd go into others' offices and just say, can you show me how to splice? Like, can you actually do it in front of me so I can understand what you're doing step by step so I can better understand the products that we're selling? So kind of, putting myself out there, being new to the industry. Others, have 30 plus years experience and they started in the field, which is amazing because they can have the capacity to know the start to finish and everything in between. So that was a struggle for me. I really had to, do extra research above and beyond. I even made note cards like I was in, high school again, learning products. Yeah, so that was definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, I came from, a world where it was tech, and, one company that I had, I was the IT guy. I wore a lot of hats, and so I did our server room, I did all that kind of stuff, but the that was just very surface level compared to, what we're doing now. And I had to kind of learn on the fly as well and figure out, the different kinds of fiber, what do they do, all the different applications for it. I think it made it very exciting for me. I love learning anyway, and this was something that I just thought, this is where these are, trends that are on the upswing. Everything is moving to fiber and high density fiber, and everything is smaller footprint. And so we're just right where tech is at. And I think it's an exciting thing to be in.
Definitely.
Yep.
The high density products that were coming out were, a nice shift and a great way for me to understand exactly how, the simple things that we use every single day, like our phones and Facebook and the cloud, what that actually means on the back end, what that work is like on the back end, and what products it takes to make that happen. And it opened me up to a world I was already in that I didn't know I was in. So, kind of a beautiful full circle that I love to share with, friends and family that I come in contact with about the cloud is not a cloud, everybody. It's a giant building
Yes,
with a lot of stuff going on in there.
It's a lot of hardware and metal, not, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, question. So going from what sounds like, I'm going to say on one hand, book smarts, and then going out and getting your street smarts and combining those together, how did that blend? How did that work? Did light bulbs go off and go, oh, wow, this really is the reason why we have X, Y, and Z?
Big time. Big time. Like the 4th of July, like your screen behind you guys, it made so much more sense to me to be able to see it in action and then be able to know what the customer's doing and know what questions to ask them in return, So all of that, connecting the dots, it helped me, have a conversation, or I'd go to a lunch meeting. When I was early on, I would kind of just listen. I was too nervous to say anything. Well, now I understand what they're saying. Now I know why they want, the pigtails and how many they actually need, because they're, of the build out that they're doing. I could comprehend a lot of that. So, and that was from seeing it in person, and even, plugging things in and going into our warehouse and kind of just putting my hands on things. It was very helpful. Still is. I still feel very new to the industry.
Sure.
But I still utilize the same practices, really. And anytime I can get in front of something, anytime I can go on a job site, I prefer that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really, makes things come together, gel. I mean, it's like I said, there's a lot to it. And just when you think you've kind of got a grasp of things, then somebody throws out a new term. And you go, oh, okay, well, here we go again,
And not just a new term. You're going from, say, a clarified dictionary term to, industry lingo. So
right.
It's understanding
People do speak
that.
jargon, yeah.
Yeah. And having that knowledge does make a difference on how you can handle the situation.
Right. And we're getting into, when I first started, we were mainly dealing with LCs, STs, SCs, and now it's MTP, MPO. There's a new connector that I forget what it's called now, but it's on its way up, and it's all about the high density application, right? And the MTPs went from 12, now they're 24, 36, 48, and I think I've seen somebody making a 72. And it's it's in China right now, I think. But somebody asked me about it. I'm like, I don't think so, not yet. It's not here. But yeah,
Wow.
It's crazy. And that's not just all ribbon fiber, right? It's real easy to just layer those 12 strand ribbons on top of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
is.
think that other connector might be like an SN connector
It
that
might
you
be.
might be thinking of. And So every now and then when I would hear of something new, I would call Mark on one of our calls and be like, have you heard about this yet?
What's this?
Is
Hey.
it coming? Is it happening?
Fun.
And if he hasn't heard of it, I'm like, all right, I can still breathe for a
Could be,
minute.
right? We can all take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So let's get into a little bit of the meat and potatoes of what you guys offer. Let's start out. Do you guys offer the full end-to-end solution when it comes to fiber?
Yes, we love to be and hope to be a one-stop shop, and we have everything within the fiber space right now. Anything from your Velcro and the nuts and bolts all the way to cabinets and ladder rack. And then we do all fiber to the home. It's a very broad range, but because it's so much, but there probably hasn't been a request that we haven't received. So
Nice.
we have a vast variety of products within the fiber industry, which is great because we have, customers that come to us, send us a full BOM, and we can check off every line item on there. And so there's a lot, and it's
Yeah.
changing constantly. But yes, we are a distributor and we have the ability to, have excellent lead time, excellent pricing structures, and a really good team to work with.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and it's nice that you are like that one-stop shop. And so you have all the products, and then it sounds to me like you have the skilled employees, the knowledgeable employees that can take care of that for you as well. That to me is a big key, is making sure you have that educated base there in order to help you with your projects.
Exactly. Yes. Our team is wonderful. And our VP, he's been in the industry the longest. And he has been, on all different pieces of it as well. And he really brings a lot of knowledge to the team. He's been able to educate us. We have our team meetings. He usually throws in a teachable moment. So it's kind of a constant growth within our team too, within the industry. So we do have really great resources to guide projects, to guide. There's people that are new in this industry that come to us with questions about what goes with this. And those kind of questions are fun for us because we're able to not only answer them, but also provide that product.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then just the joy, I mean, it brings me joy to see the real world application taking place,
Right.
to see those results, the fruits of your labor per se.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always, yeah.
Well, so I want you, Cass, can you bring up picture number 4? So this little guy you brought out when you came out recently, and I wanted
Yeah.
to start there. Tell us about that guy.
Look at this little guy.
Yeah.
So these are our launch kits, and they're newly designed. So they're a little cube, maybe a 4 by 4 inch cube.
Yeah, they're just
And
like, yeah,
yeah, they're nice and compact. They have a magnet on the bottom, which a lot of the guys like. They just kind of stick it on, and it's nice and sturdy. And we've got our testers right there, the cables, the connectors, everything is reinforced because those are getting plugged in, hundreds and hundreds of times, sometimes back to back to back to back. So everything is reinforced for longevity, and they're just more compact, a little bit more stylish. If that's, I like it because it's
Yeah.
stylish and it works very well. So these have been a huge hit for our customers. A lot of them have switched their fleets over to these from, like the standard yellowy boxes to these. And they've got a nice long lanyard on them, and we've received great feedback.
Yeah, I mean, to just hold one and look at it, it's definitely stylish, as you say, and functional though. At the end of the day, it's functional. It does what it's supposed to do. And I was impressed.
Yeah, I like the protection this offers.
Yeah.
The protection of the fiber itself compared to some other launch cables I've seen in boxes that are out there.
Yeah. It looks like it's durable. So if they accidentally drop it, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
And all different connector options, various length options available. But yeah, this is one of our newer products that we are really loving.
Nice. And if you can bring up image number 1 now, I just grabbed some screenshots from your line card. And so you'll be able to see on here, I think, what some of the different products that you highlight. So splicing equipment is
Yes.
one thing you do. And so those are those like field splice, or are those like shop, or both?
Both. So we have Fujikura, Sumitomo, Inno views, and we sell them as kits. We have our most popular are the Fujis, and 88R, so ribbon splicing. We have singles, 90R, 90S, 88S, with the cleavers, everything that comes with it. It comes in a nice giant protected case, so it can go anywhere. We also have a rental program too, so we can rent out these splicers, and sometimes customers like that before committing to purchasing, or they just need it for a couple jobs.
Sure.
So we do rental program or purchasing, but the Fujikuras, we keep these, and Sumitomos, we keep these in stock, so we always have them ready to ship, and they're a great product. We can offer training for any brand of these. We also have other options too based on budget, but these are the leading industry ones right now.
Nice.
And for those watching who may not understand what they're looking at here, these, why don't you give us a little detail on the application of these? What's their purpose?
Yes, so a splicer is one of the most important pieces of equipment when it comes to fiber right now. And if fiber needs to be repaired, if it's damaged, if it's broken, splicers will go in, they'll take the cable, they'll put it into this machine, 2 different cables. The machine aligns the cable, or the fiber. So the fiber is a piece of glass, about the size of a piece of hair. And the machine will line them up so they have a perfect alignment, and then they'll melt them. So it'll be a hot flash of light basically, and it fuses them together. And it'll show, if there's any loss of light with that fusion, if there's if it wasn't straight or anything like that, it'll give you all the feedback that the splicer needs to have a repair within a fiber. So from there, it'll splice it, and then you'll be able to put a new little sleeve on it, cool it down, melt it on there first, cool it down, and then the fiber should be back up and running. So these machines come with other pieces of it too, like a cleaver, so it cuts it, cleans it, everything that you would need to repair fiber.
Nice. So it has all the accessories along with it.
Yes.
Cool. See, I like that.
All the bells and whistles.
Did I miss anything, guys?
No,
I think you got it.
you got it. Yeah. How about photo number 2 now? There we go. So we got the little guy over there, and then other types of installation equipment. So what do we got here? I know we got a trailer on the end there.
Yes. Yeah. So we do sell fiber trailers and fiber vans. The trailers are usually more popular, standard size 7x12, fully custom fitted. We also can kit a trailer, so we stock it with everything the splicing team may need. So all the tools, all the testers, the splicers, the cleaning materials. So we offer a kitted option, and we do sell conduit. So we have lots of requests for conduit, as the image on there has, and fiber cleaning tools. So pens for MPO as well. The top cleaner, anything that you may need from a consumable standpoint. And that's where, Velcro comes in, certain tapes, mule tapes come in, nuts and bolts, all the little things we carry.
Right. Yeah, we did in one of our recent podcasts, we talked about new trending in microducting.
Yeah.
So that they are, scoring the sidewalks or small sections of roadway and throwing microduct down there instead of digging up the road as fiber deployments go out into neighborhoods and other areas. And so, yeah, I mean, for those who don't know about ducting at all, I mean, that's the cleanest way. It's the only way, really. I mean, clean to run fiber. If you're running like outside plant stuff from building to building or whatnot, ducting is kind of a way to pre-plan a pole. But I mean, they do sell outdoor fiber as well. So ducting isn't necessarily a must, but in certain environments, it's definitely a want to do.
Yeah, anything to protect the fiber. I mean, it's added extra protection. Why wouldn't you, put that in?
And it makes it so if you run ducting, then if you have to pull a fiber out to repair it, your channel is still there. If you bury it, then you have to dig it up, and then you have to deal with it that way, right? So running fiber channels, like the ducting, is obviously the most intelligent way to build.
Yeah, we had a customer come in yesterday, and they're working out in Chandler running new fiber through residential neighborhoods, and this is exactly what he was talking about. Says, yeah, John, we got the one box per 2 homes, and one home's always easy, but it's that second home that they got to run down the sidewalk and through the sidewalk and up and over and in. And so he was talking about using that microducting, in that scenario.
Yep. Cool stuff. All right, let's go to picture number 3. So test equipment.
Test equipment, also very, very, very important within our industry. And we carry Expo and Ritsu and a few others. Expo seems to be our most popular. We do have these also for rental use, a lot of OTDRs, OLTS testers. So we have a rental option and we have the for purchase option. And these are items we do keep in stock. They're very popular, very needed by our customers. And we also can offer training when it comes to using Expo and providing training for your team. But again, this is testing fiber in many different ways. Have you guys had a show about any of these products before? Because this is probably a good topic too.
We have not.
Yeah,
done
that would be a whole show, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You talk about the rental option. So is that rental to local specific areas or is it countrywide?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. It is countrywide. So we would establish a rental agreement. So, it's signed upon and we would ship out the unit to you and you'd be able to utilize it as needed. And then you would return it. So we have weekly rentals and monthly rentals, and we can kind of adjust as needed from there.
Nice.
I'm sure that's very helpful. And like you said, they get to test it out, figure out if it's something they need permanently, and then make the buying decision from an informed place instead of kind of just guessing at what they might want. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
And fiber itself, I mean, this is your core, right? I've recently come to you guys looking for some specific custom built fiber. I got to tell you, hands down, when you guys sent me back a full spec sheet, you put a spec sheet together of this, and I didn't expect that. And I thought that was really cool. What
It's a
customer
wow,
service?
yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
total
wow
wow.
factor. Yep.
When all of a sudden it comes back and it's like, here is your drawing. And there's no questioning that. I can take that to my customer and go over the specs with them at that point in time and say, look, this is it.
Which you did.
I did do that. Yeah. So very helpful. That's a great tool. It's a very great tool you guys offer.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Been our great pleasure
to
go
make
ahead.
sure that you guys have everything up front, and we know the importance of timeliness. So, trying to take away 1 or 2 extra emails and trying to get you as much information as possible at first is something that's important to us. And, it helps. We want to win your business. We want to work with you. We enjoy it. So, we like to go above and beyond as much as we can.
Well, that's evident. I will say kudos. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're, pretty excited to be in business with you, and have you as a valued partner. I think that companies are only as strong as the links that you build with the other affiliate businesses, people that you can rely on, because we all know this industry in different parts of the country can be very cyclical, and you could be having a boom in one area and it could be dead in another area. By having all of these relationships, we're able to respond to bubbles when we see them, and having valued partners being able to back us up when we need stuff done right away and need things out the door, and our fiber shop might be completely slammed. And lately it has been. It's been nuts, but having valued partners that backstop you and then offer such value adds, because we don't stock equipment.
No.
We don't, but we sold it. We just don't stock anything like that. And having somebody that is a great resource for that kind of stuff, where we can, provide that to our customers, is, I think, just adds value for what we do for our customers, and it just puts us all in a good spot,
Definitely. I think the feeling is mutual too. You guys have been a great resource for us, and the partnership that we have established has been really wonderful. And it's important to have and work with good people like you guys, and developing those relationships, because there's a lot of trust in this industry.
Yeah.
Fiber really is running the world, and we want to have a good product. You want to have a good product. If there's an issue, it's almost becomes personal for us, because it's a big deal.
Sure.
Where this fiber is going, what it's doing. The fiber's down, or if it's it's affecting a family, it's affecting a business. So there's a lot of trust that's in our products and within our relationships with who we work with. So we really feel the value of that.
Definitely.
I agree.
When I first started calling you, it's been almost 2 years now, believe it or not. It's
Has it
been,
really?
yeah, it was a while back, and you had run into some copper needs, and so we were able to partner on that front and deliver some of our great Gruber cables, the copper Cat 6 cables, I think they were. And, that being able to just kind of shore each other up in areas of expertise to build a bigger footprint is really an awesome thing, because we, run into opportunities that we may not be able to deliver everything on from an internal stock standpoint, but by having partners, we're able to deliver the whole spec, the whole bomb, because we have great relationships. So that's what we do. We on our podcast, we've had other partners on there. Last week we had one of our local manufacturing partners that does powder coating, and we talked all about powder coating for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was a great podcast, and everybody got to learn a lot about something that everybody knows is there but really doesn't know anything about, other than, oh yeah, it's powder coated. Oh, cool.
Right.
we got into it a little more.
Well,
So
yeah, and she nailed this earlier when she talked about education. That is the key in this industry, is having that knowledge and that expertise of education to understand and visualize the concept of the work that's taken place. And that really is why we do a lot of the podcasting that we do, is to help educate people to understand what is out there, how can we help them. And so that is a huge key right there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'm afraid we've reached our time, and
These go so fast, don't they?
They do. It's crazy. So we appreciate you, Alexandra, being here. We appreciated the site visit, and when you came out, I think everybody was jazzed about doing more with Optimal, and we're excited to have you on here as well. We appreciate you taking the time. Everybody, remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We're here every Thursday, 3 p.m. Arizona time. We thank you for being here. And for now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and thank you once again.
Have a good one. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.